Hey guys, Adam here. So today I'm going to go through a bit of maintenance on the MS180. So little chainsaw that we've got. We've had this one for about a year now and it's time to do a couple of running repairs on it. So what we've got is this general maintenance equipment, so the consumable items that will generally wear. First one we've got sprocket cover. So this one here we'll replace. The reason why we replace the sprocket covers is that they do eventually wear, and we'll see when we take it out of here, you'll see that the wear marks on it from the chain going around. So we'll replace him. We've also got new air filter for the chainsaw. Really important to replace your air filter. Something that can clog up and can stop the air actually getting into the engine and sucking through, and you can actually feel the power diminish if you don't have a clean air filter. You give it a blowout every time, so every time you use it, make sure you always give it a blowout, but let's make sure that we're also replacing the filter as well. Spark plug, making sure that it starts well, and last one we've got is a fuel filter. So these are the general things that once a year, if you replace these items, and also you do your daily maintenance after using the machine, you're making sure that you're cleaning it out. You'll see this one's a bit dirty because I have just used it yesterday afternoon. I didn't clean it. I wanted to show you what a dirty bit looks like inside. So let's get to it. Let's start fixing this one up. So all we're really going to need today is our tool. Comes with every chainsaw. This is what we'll use to get the spark plug out, also undo the cover for the air filter, and also undo the cover plate for where the sprocket and everything will go. We'll also need to undo our fuel tank. So this is the MS180, so it's got the old style fuel tank that you can put a screwdriver in and undo it. If you've got a 181, whether that be a MS181, MS171, any of those little ones, has the new twist turn cap, so you won't even need that to open up the fuel tank, but the rest is pretty much the same. So first of all, we'll change the sprocket. So that's involving getting this out, taking the chain and the blade off. So mine's got two here to undo. Some of the other models you might only find that you've got one nut. We undo him and we take the cover off. Take our blade and chain off. And what you'll see in here is our messy, I guess, inside of the chainsaw. So the reason why this gets all messy, that all comes from the sticky residue off some timber that we've been cutting. So I was chopping some firewood up last night with it, and so that's the way it looks. So to take the sprocket off, we first take the little circlip off. So in there, the easiest way to do that is to get the end of your tool there, the end that looks a bit like a screwdriver, and we've got to take him off. So that's what holds it on. That's fine. Also got another ring there that has to come off, and then our sprocket cover. So let me get out the new one. Oh, first, I'll show you the old one. Look at that. So see all those wear marks in it? So how can I best show it? See those wear marks in it? That's done by the chain. Now, I'm looking at myself, it's a little bit distracting. That's done by the chain. So let's open up the packet and show you what a new one will look like. This is a new one. See there, it's got no marks on the teeth. Perfectly clean compared to that one there. All the different marks. You can also see the ends there start to become a bit worn over time. These are a consumable item. They're meant to be replaced. So don't feel like that's poor quality. That's what they are meant to do over time. But all we need to do is pop this back on. So you can have a check around. I've already had a look around, but this should spin fairly freely. There's also a little thing in here that makes it spin around. I forget what they're called. They go over the top. So we put that back on. We put our ring back on and our circlip. Now getting the circlip back on, probably the hardest part I find. Let me actually go and get some tools for that. I'll be back. Alright, I'm back. So I forgot, I just needed a set of pliers just to be able to get the circlip back on. So all we need to do is get behind the circlip, make sure we're in the right spot. The bigger set of pliers than what I've got would have been handier, but this was all I could find at the time. And it just pops back on. So all I did there was just push it hard in and pop it back on. And it should spin freely like that. If it doesn't spin freely, then there's something not quite right underneath it. But for me, that's perfect. So we can now get our next bit. We've got our next bits to put on is our spark plug, which we'll do. So to do the spark plug, we get into the back here. You've got to push that down so you choke. I'll do that again. You might not have been able to see that. So let's try that again. So when you're doing it, if that's up there like that, you can't actually get your cover off. It blocks it. So what you need to do is pull down on the trigger. See if I can go around the side there. And push that all the way down as if you're about to start it. And then it pops off. It's got a couple of hooks on here that holds it on. So when you take it off, you lift it up and pull it away. If you pull too hard on it, you might end up breaking those covers there. So make sure that when you're doing it the right way. All right, so we've now got our cover off. This gives us easy access to our spark plug, which is at the top here, and also our filter. Being a MS180, the filters are a little. They're not like the larger ones where it might be a screw cap to put them on or something more significant, so it's only a little one. We'll do that one after though. First of all, we'll do our spark plug. So we take our cover off. Now this tool that we used before, that we used to take these off, will be the same one that we used to get into here. So just undo him. Now you don't have to replace this all the time. You can wait until you think you need it, but in terms of wanting to look after your equipment, it doesn't hurt to do it. So you can see the difference between an old one, so old spark plug, new spark plug, more chance of it sparking straight away and starting straight away, so it just makes it less pressure on your engine, less times you have to pull it to start it, just makes it overall easier. So there's no harm in replacing it more often than what you think necessary. So that's why we do it once a year. So I'll put him on. Pretty simple to put on. And then you just, oh, wrong side. You just tighten him up. Like that. And we'll put the cover back on. So that just squishes back on there. That's spark plug done. Next one is our filter. So you can see here the difference, show you the difference between a clean filter and a dirty filter. So again, dirty, clean, and spin them around, dirty, clean. So you can just see the difference of it. Given this is like a felt It does hold the dirt inside, so you can see sort of through the center there. It holds all the dirt in the middle of it, so as much as you might blow it off and it looks clean, it still does have all the dirt inside it. So again, let's replace him before we have any problems. And that's why we call it preventative maintenance rather than broken maintenance, I guess. Preventative maintenance is always the best one because it means that you're preventing a problem before it actually starts. So that's it for the top. We've replaced the spark plug, we've replaced the air filter. Over this side, we replaced the sprocket. Now we've got one more bit to do. So what I might do is replace the fuel filter. So this one is pretty simple as well. All I do here is I'm going to take the fuel cap off. Nice and easy. And then I'm going to have to get myself, put my fingers in there. There's not a lot of fuel in there at the moment, so I'm not going to put my hands into the fuel itself. But all we do here is we just carefully pull out the cord that sucks the fuel in. And this again, pretty simple to take off. It just pops off the end there. Got fuel all into it, so I'm going to throw it straight into there. Again, doesn't look like there was anything too wrong with it, but doesn't hurt to do. And all I do there is push that back on. Push it back on, slide it back into the tank. Get it in there so it's going to suck up the fuel next time. And that's it. Put the cap back on. Lift him back up. We're going to put the lid back on here now. And one turn to tighten, to lock it in, sorry. If it sits in place. It doesn't feel like it's going to. There we are. One turn to lock that back in. Just got to put our bar back on. We might give this a quick clean up. Give me a second. Not going to bother about giving it a hose off today. I'm just going to give it a quick wipe down. Usually I would spend a bit more time with it to clean it up to make it look a little bit more respectable, but this will do for the sake of what we're doing today. Just a quick tidy up to clean out the mess. So that's it there. We're going to put our bar and chain back on. So I've already sharpened the chain. I sharpened that this morning, so I don't need to worry about sharpening it again. But I can put him on. And this sits over. Probably can't see that. Let's try it this way. Sits over the sprocket. And we've got to get loosen him off a little bit. So mine's one of the older styles where it's got the adjuster tucked in under there, which is a bit annoying. Could get the hand cord on it, but that's alright. Try that again. Keep him on. Now we'll find our cover. So that's all sitting on nicely now. Find our cover, put our two nuts back on. Now we don't want to tighten them right up. We just want to make them so they're going to hold the cover in. Or we just check that this is going to run smoothly. And we've got the right tension there, enough that we can lift it up, because it's not going to fall off the bar. So that's pretty good. Now we will tighten him up. And that is now ready to go.